mu enunti yesi oye bie factories ahoro 1D 1F na yetumi production no yetumi produce niema dodo na ewo my Ghana mu ntinki enkwa am no ne se ye kwa akofa saa niema ni bia ba na nka tumi aboa enka bi kura ye betumi di bia kwa am no ne ejike bi kwa am no ne no ni yeso ye de koye nya sika ye nya mfaso e de ba wo mayimu eso nei sempanimfo beka che wo se ye wo over 120 achi ye sa industries ye omo kan ye ene ye bio 1D 1F na wo ho se ye kodwa so ni ese ye bisa se eniema ewo dwa so no de he pa na under 1D 1F no de he na efirimu atumi aba because ene se yesu na ye kasidi anwumre yi ye be kasidi no baby asa akọ reverse akoduru bio enye ne edi kan ye be kasidi asem obani ni sujumadi so anwumre yi enye ne edi kan ana menyi ni so se wei be ye ne atwato wei ntumi nye ne atwato because solution na nkasa no menyi ni se empanimfo kuhodo ya wo man no ya ma wotumi se wonhwe na nka yesidi ni ntumi na Bank of Ghana na anu se wutie Bank of Ghana governor say mo obeka che Ghana for a we are putting measures in place measures no so aya ante say ye de wei to ha ye de wei to ha brofo na ha ne say ye de niema egugu akwan mu ye de niema egugu akwan mu so de wo mayimu sa brofo ye frite ye nyenne enti adwadifo ewo mayimu ewo mu a sika kita woni a wodi didwa no wo ye wadwi so obedi dwa wo mayimu a ene ye je so obo wabosom ewo mu a wusika ne be hye ewo mu a no wasa tietia wo ho a no wasa agina wo na so efse sabiri ye wo mu no sabiri ya ye wo mu no sa wo hwe ba bi asidi no wiawia kora enna me ka se eniema ye yadwen se ye di gu akwan mu na atumi amasidi no agina no emu bie ni ho no mo ayetumi kosi ye kwa ye nsi o yetumi kwa ni yakopem ni agina ho no mo because 1D 1F no ye bisa producer ewodwa so a dodo sen na ebenya ye benya niema dodo sen ya ka se wei ye ne efri 1D 1F mu Ghana fo ani nie eti wakodwa so no wo to ade a yaye wo mayimu enne nyuma bebre wo mayimu a se wo si dwam wo de kodwam ye dwan a wo monte so me nkwa kire se na yesu so na enyuma kese efram no ne wo mu a bebie enyuma wo ma Ghana mu wo nyuma gu no ma se wo ne makọ ye ka ne aka game fo kọ na lipton fo kọ da bi wo de ye concentrate wo ma Ghana mu na wo de komokola o fa mokola ye mfantomo fa aboso kan ye mfantomo ko honum na ko hwe shops no se wo kan ba ko mienu a we yatum because nipa wode dan kura ma wa mo rented ya yes a shop no ne afie wura bejew eniema no a wode ba nipa ne bebre atototo wo shops mu eso ye kan ona wo mu abebie enwuma fram no ne wo enwuma guo no wokọ Ghana ha wode enwumre ye mfokoso wo Ghana ha sei na ye nhwe reasons eniema egina so a ama enwuma egu wo mayimu adwadifo ya ankasa tumi tena se no wode wadwen aba se ye gidi se sidi no nkampanimfo ye ni se ya nkabebo da bia na mpanimfo wo hia yen na omu hia ye enso ye nkwaye nimda abusu anwumre yesi adwa no ye hwe sidi no sesei ni mpanimfo ka kire ye se oil for gold ye de oil kwa akwaji gold eno no akire ba na yesi o amasidi na gina kakra oil for gold ni ye jai die ntina sesei go for oil say ye ne wo gold no ne ebedi ane oil for gold ye ne wo gold no nti go for oil enti ye di gold no ko ye no ekosi san die ntina ye ko ye na sabrembenfo de omode bo mo safoyin o na chese ye go for oil ye emfaso ye atumi abaso na amasidi na gina no gold no asa die na si ye nu nti sidi no asa ate aba fom bio ene omo a ye ne omo si adwa na bi ka kire ye se da bi ne mpanimfo ye sa abrofo se enye feasible enya de a chese ye betumi uhwe patata kremu a emfaso enkosi aga abusia yenko guta ho no mo emra sesi ana yemfa sedama give us eba ye ka give us eba abusia niema wode abadwa so ye duro eduro so de sa wo nom no wa nom adu papa wo yade no kora atimi kofa bi beka ho enti ye ka give us eba abusia wo adwuma ne se wo de give us cold capsules aba koko pa se koko how give us cold capsules ebeboa and ye wo give us eba mesha eno so nunum bi a watumi atibia di kama se eye malaria chidi na hawo give us eba mesha wo nunum bi ebeboa what nemu yade na wo your ba give us GC capsules anasa mesha no pa kam yenu bom nanom adwuma ebeye wo nipadua num no wa bebo nsema mampanimfo na Franco Trading Enterprise ene ye ka sei anwumre dum so na saba eti se wuni rechargeable fan ni bi wo fie 12 good hours wo charge a mframa ne bebo 12 hours so de no wada ma de achew eti abusua jibi wo fie we ni ade papa ya wujibi a eboa wo medin ade akua boachewa Adom producer seta machi listo wo kwadwofo jo lawyer kwamkulenu Aisha akua Ibrahim ohina mponsa sada so na jamretwuma kowua yedam live wo Facebook and YouTube nti wadwenche no uko Facebook anade bi ato wo Adom 106.3 FM fa adwenche ni bitu ho ne wode matum live enanwumrei ni din edi Edward Tete ma menkwa homa so Dr. Joseph Obeng president Emegu Chakuo no ewa homa so dog majo
me do so me hu wate
me wo hono mo se bibia abokode
oh Yesu adoma kwa eya
yeda se waje yesu anwumre mo ka se eyara se ya na che se emu ye mo mafamu no ye bisa se eye na mutimi ka se eyara na ama yakoma atɔ yeyem se sei dwadie no se wodi mede wanu yie toto ho se eyara no ensi ye papa
metwi mu kakra
uchu mu kakra etika gaye pa di anka abeka se ye wo hu ye nhwe ne amanye so no ye eyara evise wo mu a na ye ne mu asi adwa fie ha sei na mo de atodwa da bi eniema nkoye ye nsusu ye ni na eniema asasan begina kakra ewo mu a ne asa ate asai eti sabri bosomi a ye wo mu eso no ye nhwe ne ye asie ya ha mo wo madwuma yo mu
yo but as pa na em say the higher end em say I could do pempen so bi kwa ye tintim ho tata ama em say wonsa akan bi na no kro wom ne say eye Ghana city no na ho de na kofom onzo na nsin yenya stability kakra nanka dollar no bi gina be 12.5 for echewo kakra yi na akoba say na numu eba 12.8 eba ye no abia mi hu ye ne say that's at time Nigeria enya forest crisis no more crisis no so pa ente mame press release edibai say yenhwe yi na crisis na aba Nigeria no ehun sunsanso no emu amoyen ni gina na me gie bi say omo beto dollars no dodoa wa ha information ni yenya no na akoba se sia no dollar any other factors what yani ani mebia ebia akwa atwe wa haninti ama dollar na every akwa kudu sia no ye kako for 14.9 now at this stage you know they say any the now no be last quarter of 2022 is you know ma me so bika ya em so be no I be komona ye ho tere empa that's how time dollar no akwa kudu be 15.5 em say eno ne pika ekudu ye na ekobasa na afi ye ho yira yen na ye getri eshi na sambe no I say dollar eno ana ye de edi edwe na si ye kwa manane na eho ye cha na kwa ni ni dollars ka enso dollar no eni susudu ya ye de etoni amano efi ho na watoni amano dollar na wie no wa ba be fa shape I would only be going afraid to free charges. This year, the no can say free charges, no. On the COVID time, no, a course ropa, no. Some may make us say, as how every acosao, On the Abianca be a 40-foot container, especially the Asian countries, you know. I want to give you 2008, they say I got 7,500 a year free charge. On us, the dollar Korea in the Kutia. Na yaba you crew Munswa. Na when your man will be, you know, Susudia, yes, and yes, Susu, Amuatua would do it, and so Asako $1 Korea. Nese, Quabia sono, Nese, a car and a doleo. And into a copasa, the uncle Biba can say, I didn't think Monfa, you know, Mocostono, Monfa, and Mompe consumer, so some money, Matomadi. But one also can a trans answer in ye, because a Jediana, you know, your customers, you know, and a shibum, or Mokwa Hutrima, near Shakwa Hutrim. Because you are 2 minima, or also near me, a UBR option, BRC, to me, a natural sequence. Send your man of Cosra, and see as we are to Emma, your consumer. Then your man of Cosro, Nani Bono Yedia. That's a fuel inflation. Inflation also now the purchasing power of the consumer. Now, what they now, consumer no what they better ya the amayano. And also, I kuma. It is a first no the 20 Ghana cities, and a bit me at 20 maybe be dua. And then say the same 20 Ghana cities, no, but brepa and sandwich in the upper 9 and army and sample. They say, yes, no one, no, yet the tone, near mano. Namami, that's a cough cry. The Kobasa, Ubun Safi, me of what tree and palm cause you intimate your bank. Some of the near Mano Tono, one was sales and Nobano, and I do good here. Sir, what you loan or bank, I would be good here. Yes, sir. Now, and also a cockashim. Now, your friends and suppliers credit, and I'm saying, also, it means credit no ha cheap wa. It would do winning now, Manone, baby, up on your manona. Have a started my credit name well. Have a exchange rate no cosa. Now, if would mean chia, one more can you have a credit facility now, one. Then also a yard be free with him. Mammy, say, some, you know, say will be a doka. Ghana had now was work or sopra would be then the Pakun Tiaya. Now, no, so scanu here, because the better time. Only Pacono Bitriacano. Now, Feluna, a Samuel no say, what the man was swimming in Etia. That's how Mexicano answer crowd because after the man in Nedola near Bear 12.5. Tisania May and Ama a teddy a yet team pa to say, Ama Mamfu Jetri, Asia. Now, and yet a teddy inquire. On say, a queer your crown. On say, first and all. And then you the social area, you the weedy size and pesticides and mona, you the queer, palm queer, a dory. Now, a dear machine say, you did a tree, you display near manual gicano, in importo, weedy size, fertilizer, no one gicano. It is the importo sania mana, then also agricultural products. It is soon, then when yes, agriculture for what home. That's it. Almost until food basket, inflation basket, no. Say in the anene guma, Nina non sono boacoso, internet a fuel inflation. Inflation no costra. Now fee Bank of Ghana was a monetary policy rate, yes, increasing. That's a interest rate and so acosro. Internet a crime ban so now. O the dinner afi, obey no yahumedia. Na wet mediga, mahutum and yahugunumu. Na when young for soccer cradia say,
Yanshani say you dog. Near me say Yanshani say near wokan me gidi say afi atwa mu ene ma bi say koso me no ye ne mu didi nkomo a wo mu anamaba da bi ye dwatire no ehye amanfo shops ye tutum we enye ne edika ya ye tibinie eti afi atwa mu no saa ne ehye ase ye ene mo recommendations ahoro a mo de maaye die ne ma sidi no etumi gina kakra because mo so mo de adwenkyire bi baaye enkanka mo a mo kokwa so kofa ne ma bai ya gidi sie ye ni se ye beboa die na ema etumi gina kakra ene ese die na asesa ye ama yasan besi ya chibie mu
yo ade no de ye ya na akoye pa ne se sikana nkasa no ekwa atwe a won se de bia ya no mo ka se Ghana ha no yenya balance of payment surplus. Be few numni biano ainam oil any good in one can one cocoa syndication into no de biana export na buntam import no ntina ma yenya excess and only balance of payment you know then when your balance of payment surplus no yet then sikano aba and kawaja bunkam import no or hotel that's a demand that a wusikano so esuyi na esan say the camera yenya no kwa no entra kromia sentra kromia dia na say enkofu wo amanone no a o ma be investment no o mu na de sika no edodo na free kromia mpacho ti ase cause once good enye dia they say atana fo ne honkika wo mbetu no o mu na tukuro na konso emma bauxite enye dia yetu a yekoton a emma sika no nti yebeka ayi wo communication industry wo mo faso na enka krom ye o pese communication sike kom ye momu ye se faso ba ho na nyes katetwa enso ayi afisu ye na seskani na akọ niema te se oyela ye tunu bumu a eno so discount faso die ba no enya kọ na access America na ye diko yo se Europe na ye diko ya esikana hunsunso aso na ma enso ye bu konta ye bu shem se bala you know niema ya sport free ha enso na esan se economy no eni yensemti na se sikano so no ma ye new retention policy bia na ye ka se sa juiciest part of the economy no yenso ye de deliberate effort sebusia ye kwabugbo euro bond ni hongika una no na se nke binom no ye de ekwaji share business isi mu se yenso ye tefa ewo mu no enti fasodie ba say ye were 40% share say timika and now say as a policy of the state you know say yen share ni anka say be profit no foreign direct investors no wo mo fa wo mo returns ni na anko just an ye no ama bebre no e be ka say okay unya mfaso ma be 30% minka never ye reinvestment so be of course kromia na be peace ka no nti ade na unya mfaso die ni na mo betu deni na fe udi ni na ko wunje piwa nti na se si ade nhihye papa etu akwan mu na ade ba kon so ne se ekoba sika no start se kwa ade bi ye friend speculation ye start ka ho asem wadu so any baby na fe kosa na fe sika no so kwa afi na panic buying and so asset in some baby ye bedu na no ye free baby panic buying no na higher AD and YCC. It is a young critic confidence in the system. Who won't say no, so no, ama you know, worker stability nearby, you know. First, Sadi no course rona IMF scan by your country and yes, can be a debashim no, and a ma $1 no as a store of value. Sani a friend on this afi. Na ratio na hodi na akwese dollar no it is a scanner say ba na wo mo fo no dibrika e dis scanner ba nti IMF scanner ba ye no yenya first tranche yenya second tranche and nti and also ebeboa stabilize no e wo 2023 no some year you see mu ya the first quarter of 2024 no also yenya ye wo from ya dada no ye wo perennial problem ewo ekromia say ya afeno kwa ye bia na enam repatriation of this one nti skano kwatri ekosro na ekoba say yentimi ema third tranche no ema ye nti pressure na was a skano so any repatriation of foreign foreign direct investors no musika omode ko any other what other because the masters of the economy, woman, they see a Chinese for you. They see a China town, no. Ya investment policy be a bit me a show mukete say is kana woman de niamana womo krabano. So on this cano betu o manganemu na womo de kraniamano. Ne kopase ya woman fate kusimpa ya boom to krukura so woman famu. There ye de kwanya wo fa so awudi bi foreign e wo trade and say wo de near $1 million ebeba wo de ba afi kwana bi amawo employ nipa 20 or munye jumama. Now for one more training money your a free one more manufacturers no. It one more training money biguya. Now for one more scanner, yeah bra, ye nyaka krano. Now one more sako. It is say ye yansi shebia, you bit me, I show mukete say. Mon first cano, Emma Ghana, Scamode, cranium, and is a fibia with the near 2,000 or 5,000 containers, and near many big 5,000 containers, and say $200 million. As a Bank of Ghana, a man of this says cano, Ebetria. Because we need cano. Now we need, ewa then I watching your maguno, ebetri sika, ya bre, yenya. If free, I was a Debbie, SS importation, yes, and only a problem can see but SS importation, woman need bar, nobody a bit in Lucas, and so say, I'm a crack 2 piece. No more move a feet, one more, I can afford a debano, yet a war import to Muno, 20% to cry. Ghana food, now I could do buy China, 20%. To send me papa, 80 minutes per 5,000 containers, say, but on one can. And any other do something, so we. It's Yako Yanimno, the I bet me, yeah, Cecilia say, young Bibia. You bet me, the confidence, Abba, because it's a panic buying, Abem. It's young Bibia, Abano, bet me, where inspired hope. Confidence, it can be a banana for intimate fiscal and Samra. Now, Fay, Adia, you bet me, they say. Yato Adiano China, you did all letter, and they are binding to me. Freight charges are binding to me. Then, Mamma, power to me, and they said, you didn't have an what they, assembly to no cost, now they also follow trend, and now they charge duty. Or no, bet me every do so, benchmark now. Dollar na more they calculated duty no. Who bet me a peg, and that to be a cate. Manin enough, and no quad, who to me. So, per se, a month for from Jojo Mokakadia. And yet, no, Manunia bear 13. No, and what you duty, not duty, no, some from that a month or so, and when you never not compensate to be big. And then they are power to me. Now, say, third tranche of the IMF deal, no. Yes, you could and Tempaya, the one question, the one question, a program. It is a Yadu Pepper Sobina, a Hochen woman, and see to me, IMF one, it means say, now, yes, could you see, yet, yet, the pressure to so now, third tranche, and but it means supply economy, no, and me in Yenya, Yahotoka.
Doc, Majidi say, one contabua, a cost of fat. Simon oni enwuma yi a yesio na company way foreign company way a close it down o ma foldi apoma sese o monne makọ ba ye kan ye ba o mayi muso a muso munwuma a moye no na say yesi dwamu a behwe shop way atum shop way yenim se mo no mokọ holiday o se bi so atoto o mudie mu a mejidi se mo wo number da fa guta nko a mo wo number of traders a o mo ya under guta ebi nwuma egu a dodo be saying
yo edinti se si ansem ka se metimi ya scientific evidence bi enam di ama numbers a ta dia ya na etre say on say obiano a se na hoden ewo the warehouse ye wo na no ye dodo na elementary way ye dey access ya hoden e warehouse it kaneno na utimi de eniama bi a 10 containers na eba warehouse abobi na some may know over bread pounds and ultimately the 4 containers aba it will call warehouse what is saying Adiamenka warehouse will be ultimately 10 containers eba education but this year same rate no one can especially the 2022 you know and it is here the year as about 50 you know now say ultimately the number of containers and nanka ultimately na customers inflation and so ama customers na ho de na call for more ultimately to niema no na say wano no and ka ultimately to niema enya be 10 containers and 20 containers no eni obi enti bia no ultimately for so e dey be 3 containers per and 4 containers into warehouse no be kono na to sini and no na ye dey measure and it is a toko so sa na wo dey na wo ka no na say akose store nipa kro no eto no shop mu no enti bebre ohonma unhu se ebi a wo mato mu shop mu ba yen the major the determining factor say we grow ewo wadwuma mu no how we stock we grow we stock we warehouse ayema eno na yedi access say hey akwa no obo adwuma enso warehouse no dem where you feel dia there's a what is so na there's a wa den no akofom kra
enti say mo warehouse no a wo ka no ko obi warehouse aniema wo mu ana aniema nim
eno na me ka no say first no then ka mutimi kra niema 20 or 10 containers and then what you one container back for duty in crown disappointing from bringing goods it will do on my obese then ka first name adie bia ko timi ton e dodo pa no bo so obese no akoto 20 feet container pe so be ya obetimi tia duty no ntiu na eti na volumes na ye de ba na se ne e no pa one to say ye ka say a port ho no kra ye hui no GPH for Nakaya. And it no reflect in our warehouses. It when you see cano bottom in cities no there and see you and no the beer and one the crowd, but what they na a crowd to bet me a Tony Amamono, a Koya Kuma. And it won't mean Tony Amano do any duty Ubetia as soon intino and also a Timim wow. Now ma when near my Kawashe. Now, see, and Kajuma Kabumia, which would say, and near my will be up our warehouse and the near the question goose, I wish you have your babano, now a tutti. Now, as a warrior who for sick and compare my, and so now it has been spirited away. That's the word. It has been spirited away.
Doc, my yana was say, send your walking, Monfa Musica and compare my Musica. That's it. Ebusia Guta president ya wodi wanimu Ghana Union of Traders Association Dr. Joseph Mensah na watene nka no o musika no se ne wo ka no enye se o mo de to aduane adi na o mo mfa mpem ma so o musika ehye o mo Guta for de eno no eti adwadifo wo mayimu yebekọ na industries ahoro no so no yahwe AGI for so ebena bo ewo mu because ye ka no won say ne Dr. Joseph Obi kan nyina ye say ye kone ye kokra ne ma ne ba ye kone ye kokra ne ma ne ba sanka ne ma no ye nya bi wo man Ghana mu a ka menyi ni say o mo kasa ne be ye say ye kone ye kokra ba ye kone ye kokra ba eti die nti ena ye shedade policy ba say ye buta ye di si ye ni so bie ni say ye be ye niema no wo mayimu na nkasa agutafo ni omo akeka kai no won kwa me no ne nkasa me kofa niema ba na exchange rate ha me enti ya amase say ye warehouses ahoro mu ayehwe nka ye nte sa asem no enti AGI for so ye ne wo betwetwe nkomo factories no ye bie ye no ekosi sen se dodo se pa na gina ne na so se ye adwuma obi kọ ho no mo a obetumi anya niema se me fa niema de agume shop mu e wo mayimu ama me shop na bo ma be me nkwa me no ne nkokra bi emfa ma se adwadifo ni take decision say na ye pese ye mpese ye be kwa me no ni bio ye pese ye fa no wo Ghana ase ya wo betumi anya bi wo hase ye a eno beboa abusuani AGI for betwa so wadwenkyere oba Facebook YouTube na wode wadwenkyere ato fa kede ayi odi free new plan station aba o say Ghana fo na enno Ghana enunti eniema no woton a no wonum atutum Ghana fo na enno Ghana nti o moton niema na omo ade ebuo ni bi atoto so megidi se Dr. Joseph Obi asem o kan mo so omo habo a omo fesie no ofake watibi mamenko omo anone na omo ye food and beverages because say Ghana Statistical Service for nkontabuo bi omo de beba efa inflation sane aniema siko no enuane na dikan enuane bo omanya yatim say wo decide pa say meto aduane wo abonten so adi aduane bo utibete mamenko na Owura John Awuni, Chairman Ma Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Ewa Homaso. Eja Awuni, Majo. Hello, Miss Awuni. Hello.
Hello, Bia.
Hello, Miss Awuni, Utemenka.
Hello, I can hear you.
me da se pa nwumre se waje yeso yedamase Food and Beverages Association of Ghana ne ekoso ewo mayi mu se enuane bo ye kase enuane bo akosuru se ye kan obi message odi aba se eye mo amoto enuane ne ano ne no na mo sheda increase mo prices. Hello Mr. Uni.
Hello.
Mesre na wama wafidie na wo wachi na akofom kakra ma me.
Akofom.
Me da se. Me se charger etoda consumers bose mo a moton beverages ne mo a moton nuane wo mayi mu na mo sheda increase mo prices e ma manfo ho kire won. Ye pesa nwumire ye hu mo challenges a mo face se enne yi ebete se ya to nsuo buom ya to aduane buom hin na ye friba
no da sipi me sure dia we are aware about what exactly is happening in the country. A lot of things contributes to the cost of the price of a product. Number one is the international price. Number two, import duties, no, any taxes, no. Now, number three, they will fees and levies by the regulatory authorities like Standards Authority, EPA, Food and Drugs, and all that. In addition to your internal costs in terms of storage, in terms of your general overhead costs, and now would the profit at the bar. In fact, another cost now is here. We've also seen is the depreciation of the currency. Ghanaian currency, say depreciate, I also for you to see the level of depreciation. Now we bet mass speculate. Now we take count. And yes, sir, we bet mass in the market. And by the time that they will pay you, and remember, the goods are normally sold to distributors in the market at wholesale, at credit, on credit basis. And so essentially by the time they are paying your money back in 2 weeks' time, in 3 weeks' time, in 1 month time, if the exchange rate changes, won't mean the same quantity of goods that you sold out. And these are all the things, the fundamentals that normally constitute the cost of a product. And remember, because of the current global economic conditions, if I say global economic conditions, we will notice that Ghana, everything is going high, things are getting quite difficult, and it's not necessarily peculiar to Ghana, because I've traveled globally, and I also realized that, in fact, things, even we always use America, UK, things have become quite expensive there. So generally, things are expensive across the board. But so in Ghana here, same thing as things have become so expensive, and these are not necessarily because of increase in prices. These are not necessarily because we have increased profit margins unnecessarily, but generally because people have to see in a manner that traders have to see in a manner that they can recover. Because prices are high, consumer disposable income is quite low, and demand is low for that matter. So it is in the interest of the traders mostly for them to sell their goods at lower prices so that they can be able to recover. If you sell your goods at higher prices and then it delays in the market, and by the time you are getting the money back, the exchange rate has changed, then you have lost. So, and yes, they deliberately or more to, they are just adjusting things unnecessarily to make unnecessary profit. And no. There are a whole lot of dynamics that go into the pricing process. And key among them is the exchange rate, because we mostly deal with a foreign currency, which is largely the dollar.
Mr. Uni, oka se mu deal with a foreign currency. Mami Mr. Food and Beverages no. Se ye funny percentage wise dodo sen ena mokre free amanone eba. Ena dodo sen ena ye nyan wo my Ghana mu ebetumi aka se bia under 1D 1F na ba ye nintine bia se say beverages ye nya dodo na wo Ghana na ye kre free amanone ba no eno so ate dodo sen ne free amanone ba na dodo sen ena ye nya from manufacturers or more manufacturer wo Ghana ha say
It's a very excellent question. And that brings me to a very, very, very important thing, because as this CD is depreciating, everybody's making noise and we are all crying, government should do this, government should do that, government should do that, government should do that. And what I want to point out is that clearly Ghana is a largely an import-dependent country. You are asking about what percentage is import and what percentage is locally produced. Let me point out to the fact that largely what we even call manufacturing in Ghana is not manufacturing in the strictest definition of manufacturing. If you go through across the board, whether it is pharmaceutical, whether it is the beverage industry, whether it is the whichever food sector and all that, largely they are all mostly we import. Most of the goods that, if you could take it like manufacturing, what we call manufacturing, and manufacturing in most countries is what's supposed to create the jobs, is what's supposed to generate the foreign currency for us and all that. This does not happen in our critical sense of the manufacturing. We have two categories of the import. Those who import directly, like, okay, well, they import finished products, such as rice, such as sugar, such as flour and all that. And those who also import, like, concentrates, or largely semi-finished products. And let me say that our manufacturing sector is largely semi-finished products. If you say, for instance, we are producing oil, I don't want to mention any particular brands, but cooking oil. The cooking oil we produce, the question is, do they buy the palm oil or the raw material from the farmers in Ghana? No. They bring in concentrates from Malaysia. They bring in concentrates from any other country. If you talk about local chicken, the chicken is normally imported. The day-old chickens are imported from Netherlands, is imported from Morocco, any other country, and this all involves foreign currencies. So the strictest of the sense, if you go to the pharmaceuticals, it's concentrates. Most largely, they bring concentrates, mix them up. So you don't start anything largely in this country from the refined state, from the raw materials, from the farmer to the factory, and then all that. Even packaging materials are all imported. So we have people who bring in the two categories, the finished products and the semi-finished products, all require dollars to import those things. If today they ban importation generally, nobody should import anything, most factories in this country will collapse. So there's no strict rule of manufacturing in this country that would say that I can categorically say that this is what we produce locally, this is what everybody is importing. Everybody is importing. That we cannot say that we are buying pineapples from the farmers and producing pineapple juice in this country. We are buying oranges and producing oranges. We are buying banana or passion fruit and producing directly here. We are buying wheat or sorghum or soya bean or whatever and producing the oil directly. No. Most of the things you find that we say that they are locally produced are the raw materials they are semi-products. That's the raw material. We bring in semi and just complete them here. If it is baby diapers, you bring in the paper. If it's tissue, you bring in the huge rolls and then now decide to cut them into the finished products and put into the Ghanaian market. And sometimes even the packaging is not even from Ghana. So my sister, the question you have asked is the crux of the matter, because the country is rooted on a wrong foundation. We deceive ourselves that we are manufacturing, but we are not manufacturing.
But Mr. Huni, I don't know about the question. Say, is it impossible? Say, you best start from scratch. Say, you manufacture. Say, you okay? Because to me, you do pineapple. Nibi oha. Yemfa a kumfi sa fruit kumfi juice enye example say ye dua pineapple no wo Ghana yentumi enye sa drink na say ye beye no from scratch ya niema nyina no ye benya ne Ghana ha wo kan say ye ni bibia say ye manufacture bibia from scratch wo Ghana enye nwanwa Because government no but ayo this in any so ne say or per se yenya manufacture say wo mayimu 1D 1F yen produce bibia from scratch e wo mayimu nemwa ena musuo na foreign exchange na foreign exchange na nketo ntimi ntwa eno no ye impossible see e betumi aye from the woken.
For me, it's not impossible. And for that is the way to industrialization. That's the way to the development of any country, of any economy. A country cannot largely. In fact, let me make a foundational remark that every country imports largely, in particular, if you take America, which is the biggest economy, also China, they all import. There's no country that does not import. But you must also have a reasonable percentage of your goods produced locally that can earn you the required foreign exchange. You understand? So, in fact, the issue of this CD thing, one leg is a manufacturing thing, and so we can do that, but that requires a committed, long-term focus of the government. It's not like what we are doing in Ghana here, that one government will come and lay foundation, another government will come and to that foundation and do another thing. Tractors are brought in and the tractors are not given to the farmers. They are given back to the same politicians and they all distribute them to themselves and then all that and all that. The current state of our agric in Ghana is nothing to write home about. So even if you have a factory that says that they want to manufacture from the scratch, buy from the farmers and all that, say they are looking for palm kernels to be able to buy and be able to process and then produce oil, refine oil and all that. How many will they be able to get the quantity that they require? They are looking for shea butter to be able to produce, to look for shea nuts in order to be able to produce shea butter and then all that. Will they be able to get the quantity that they need and all that? Most of the times you find out that, yes, the people want to buy directly from the farmers, start the production right down from the farmers, from the farmers stage to the finished product, but they cannot get the right quantity. So at the end of the day, they end up imported. So all that has to do with government policy. A country that wants to produce enough agriculture to supply its industry, it's a country that must not rely on rainfall. You must have adequate water systems that you can determine as and when you supply water to your crops, but not to depend on rainfall for the production of your crops. You must also have a situation where the farmers can have high yielding varieties, good agronomic practices, good extension officers and all that, so that you can be able to produce the crop in a manner that industry will require. But we don't have that. Our agriculture system is not good. Even our data, we don't even know how many farmers we have under any of the crops we're talking about in this country. Not to talk about, we have this number of farmers and you have this number of land system. There's this size of land so that they can produce and then supply to a particular industry. So most of the times, the industry would like to buy locally, but they cannot buy. So at the end of the day, they end up importing. So it is a possibility, and that is really the way to development. That's really the way to stabilize the currency. Today, everybody's lambasting the MPP government, the Keren Nana Akufo-Addo's government, that they are not able to stabilize the cedi. But I have been part of the cedi discussion, the cedi depreciation discussion, since the year 2000, 2001, thereabout. I have been part of this discussion back to back. And so, historically, no government has been able to stabilize the currency.
China government BN to mean solve the problem of your currency, no, because in any only say Bank of Ghana emrana ma wo kwan say omonhwe say ye cedi no ebetumi agina ne na so etu de se ni man kura ne nkoyi a omoso afamu no ugidi se ne wo kan from 2000 wadi akira yem problem ne ye de.
Your problem is number one. As a people, the problem I will divide into two. The actions, our actions and inactions. The inaction number one is leadership. Our leaders have failed to come to even policies that they have to come up with policies that will and then enforce the policies to ensure that we abide by and follow those laws. For instance, our foreign currency policy. The Bank of Ghana has rules as to how you can deal with foreign exchange and then all that. By the end of the day, they themselves even end up also engaging in the breaking the law. They also buy dollars and keep. Literally, the government that's supposed to ensure that they enforce the laws and ensure that people obey, ensure that people don't charge their rent in dollars, ensure that people don't sell their properties in dollars, ensure that nothing, transactions in the country largely does not go in dollar terms. They themselves now who build their property, they rent them in dollars. So they themselves are corporate. So in actions of leadership, and then on the part of as a country, we have failed woefully and failed ourselves because we have failed to be proud of our national currency. And because of this, over the years, I have always said, once we have failed to be proud of our national currency and we pride ourselves in foreign currencies, the pounds, the dollars, and all that, why don't we just go ahead and deal in the dollar and take the dollar as our national currency and forget about the cedi? Because when you go to the system of business, most like I told you earlier on, traders think in dollars and they price their goods in cities, in the market, in the local market. Those in other places, like those who rent and sell properties and whatever, they sell them in dollars. Go to most of the car companies, the VW company that is making noise, the Ghanaians, they are not buying their vehicles. Go and ask them how much is it, whether they will give you the price in cities. They will give you the price in dollars. Any car sold in the Ghanaian market, brand new car sold in the Ghanaian market, is priced in dollars. The bank, the central bank, they know, they are aware about that. How have they enforced that? If you go to the South Africa, you cannot and go into a hotel. You cannot take dollars and then pay for your hotel. They will not accept it. If you go to some other countries in Africa, they will not accept it. Yet in Ghana, all of us pride our wealth in dollars. We don't pride our wealth in cities. There are two situations for those of the middle income. Those if you have excess income. If you have excess income and you are not ready to use for any distance, there are two ways you can keep it. In this particular country, you go and buy dollars and keep, or you go and put it in treasury bills. A country that goes that way is a country that can never be able to stabilize its currency. Go around all our politicians. Most of them keep their money. They easily keep their money in dollars. And so as they listen, those who are supposed to enforce, they themselves go and buy dollars and keep themselves as a store of wealth or a store of value. And so we can't go that way and keep on blaming that, and we say that we want to get the city stabilized. We get the city stabilized. We can't eat our cake and have it. Mm-hmm. As a people, we are not proud in our currency. As a people, we are not ready to follow the laws and all that. And those who are supposed to enforce the laws, they themselves are corporates. If God were to open our eyes to see into the homes of all the politicians that we are crying and looking forward to get this dollar or cedi stabilized, you'll be shocked about under their beds. You'll be shocked about their money rooms, what is such in there. In their money rooms are dollars and pounds rather than cedis. Nobody is keeping cedi as a store of value. We are rather buying dollars and keep it. So if all of us are buying dollars as a product, how do you expect? And basically, it's a demand and supply situation. How do you expect the city to stabilize? So it's a major issue. On one leg, we are talking about manufacturing. But on the other leg are the people, the mindset of the Ghanaian, the mindset of our leaders who prefer to deal in dollars rather than in the local currency. Go to the Ghanaian ports. We charge in dollars. Why will a Ghanaian port charge in dollars when the Bank of Ghana knows that it is illegal? They only change the duties every Tuesday. Go, customs will call sometimes the black market. What is the rate today? And that's what they used to fix as the import duty rate for the day. We can't go that way when we are not proud of our currency. Everybody is buying dollars and keeping under his bed. How on earth do you expect the city to stabilize when we are on that trajectory? So I think that as a way forward, we should not stop politicizing and one government and this government is making cities to depreciate. No. If you go historically, all the governments have failed. Even when President Kufuor redevalued it and then it was 1 cedi to $1, we still lost control over it. And today we are dealing with 15 cedis. Let a new government come in. We will go to above that. At the end of the day, we will massage ourselves and look at it comparative basis and say that we, under our system, is depreciated less than your system or depreciated more than. So that's the only way we can do. But that will not help the country.
Mr. Uni, and you may say papa. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Abusiani a yɛkyi yi panimpa ene food and beverages so my Ghana mu nsuo ya yenom nnuane a yedie se yɛka kyerɛ sɛ nnuane bo kɔsoro ɛna obi aba a wɔse nyɛyɛya obi aba a wɔse nyɛyɛya onso akyerɛ baabi ɔmo de efiri eti edu sabri a na wɔse yɛkɔ aban no mpanimfo aboboa no na yebisa wɔn ne enti a yɛsa yɛkyie na deputy minister wokɔ Ministry of Trade and Industry a so afọ abedi akyire yi owo hɔ no mo onimunyamfo Michael Ochibefi ewo ahoma so yene no entra nkomotwetwen so ono abo ma adwo
ya dokuna
ma wa fisia paso
afun komiti o hima
constituency te sen
ya wa ha egusu kakra nyame ho
ene o kan egusu nkakra die na se mu ya
been our best for God and country
ayo yeda se for God and country na yemfamra asoye a wo emu na yemmisa ena adwadifo yi wonum asa bob na dendenden eniema a wo kra di fram no ne aba adwadie mu eniema nkoye ma won ena sidi no echese baby aduru no sesei eniema no wo ba baby a ye kra niema ye di begu ye warehouse a eniema ni ho no mo banana wo mo bo mejidi yese botaya na esi abanya ni so ye nam so one district one factory eno nkomotwetwen se me no watwetwen bia se da bia na aka ye pese niema no ye nya dodo na ewo mayimu na ye nkrem fra me no ne ma ene ye bisa ni state a ejina sen
but the last one no
me say ne nanka aban botaye se wo pese ye bie mfididwuma dodo na wo mayimu na ne nka adwadifo yi ye pebia eniema nkakra ne nya wo my Ghana mu enti yensese sidi ne se ye de kwame no ne akokra niema bebre aba eno na mi bisa se ene the state of 1D 1F no ejina sen
yo mi da se be mi aba mi da se mi da because before we share with state in France so my kwanga say on see ma chair again e get some more kan it supposed to be no am person my mouth ehu ya di opisa ho asem 1D 1F besa gan for nyina ye tia share titu yeah any appreciate person it can 1D 1F at the near area o him 1D 1F no enye aban project aban any free project national we you say make no trims makan here but a private sector led project because I'm quite my four and I say I'm quite any bibi na ni pe kubi mo nyom bibi eno mo sade na se na ban warm ama so the person omo ye omo faction na feed adwuma no edimo aban mo na odi boa no ebi ni sen aban boa won through one say e boa ama wodwuma na opeso fi ase no what me aye hu niema the friend proposal business proposal na business plan so ni bia ya ban be ma consultant won boa mo aye it me no aban e boa na in cooperative business ni we are aban say me ma tax exemptions say dia for 5 years corporate tax exemptions for 5 years 5 years intra tax e ma ban but let's carry segment make money 2.9 cost if you aban boa ka say filia o be adwuma no so o kresi ma no ne aba aban be ka say intra import duties and taxes I also so kra duties abeye no aban say intra fidi adwuma no make infidie no any raw materials how dey be adwuma no ebio aban say me boa ma wa adwuma nti so the be abetimi afani pe be Ghana food pe be adwuma the sense say be bia e call factory ho no e kwa ne nya ya aban so be ya ma ebio so hia transformer na wetimi apawa wadwuma no na so de one nya electricity apawa wadwuma na aban so be boa mo nya transformer sani ma we na aban de boa ma wo ye one this one factory na abai ebedimu nti dey say a private sector led initiative aban ne dia o ye so facilitating movement cost ya can say we have about 296 1D1F companies are at various stages of implementation. I also main here. I treasure our main New Kaya with the power back on the Pacific and say, and kept a big what or mind be brave. Say, yeah, near my be organa ha. I am feeling to say a craniama abacobato. So say, for craniama, all the car in a top. Send out the tunnel, and you're gonna see an abato, or the Monisika. And I'm on the cry, you Ghana, that boy, yeah, actually, if you some of this, so up where my city, no, exana abrano. It is first canny cocodema. Ya cranima abato. Yet a cranny money babatoma, it ya taxes also. I penny import taxes, tax say piano. Yet the tax no, yet transfer tax na piano. A can a one a dear betony boffin. The man a one year thing. A man conform better. It's necessity. Go back completely free, said Nima Body. Snabia, we na how let Oko. If you are by say, and give a who say 1D1F, and I say, and I say, be more than her. Who be more than her, and no dear. So, Kanema, and I say, who try import taxes we are. Mind some more tax exemptions, I'll be one more with money in Germany. To be fair. Yin idea who say 1D1F and now say and the Juma and Cranko BP now almost me at a bedroom and as a Juma a bill room. I'm a gunner for the brain. You're now on one so on so they are more they be a bomb man. Ever boy pass on mine.
Medase wonche mu a wode amayen wa mayen hu se eye abanyan ni suade hunu de nanso eye ankora enyi ne die animu eye aban wo ne chefa ye wo so wo ye megiri ye se before kora aban de sa abota ye besi nanim no no abo na ye wo nipa bi o ma bie se mfidi dwuma bi e wo mayi mu o mo atete huko Association of Ghana Industries ne ne aka nyina wo ho no mo but aban bota ye odi si nani so ene dodo ye abo ye se ye pese ye because we ye policy a ye pese ye de man sachira ye ba o man ni sidi no a entumi nyina no ye pese ye hu ne fapem ye tu ase kura nti wei ye gidi se betumi aboa eti se mfie nsunie from 2017 and a 1D1F implementation ishase ebesi ne say ye kase ye pe the impact on Ghana ye economy ene baby a ye gina fine ye private sector sani okay private sector led there but ene no enye nsunsanso bi ewo amamu amu say ye sikasem so
Because we be miniaba against so we brave.
Ebi ne de he honorable.
No, me go so kata. Me say against so we brave. For say adwuma eba and so am very so enye fa konkwan. Minim so we say e be adwuma mo ho multimedia adwuma mo ye. Enye na di fa konkwan na e ho fa so ba. Na so na 1D1F adwuma eba e ho fa so di be brave. Di kan 1D1F it creates a lot of employment. It creates a lot of employment, both direct and indirect employment. Direct employment, the people say, Edma will more fun of what Momoye, Mabosumi, Omuka, and almost wish Mobushia. The Tosumi, you know, if you know how almost near Juma, I was a company, direct, Sabosumi way, Tomoka, Nemum, almost provided raw material, manko for South One. Through the outgrower schemes arrangement, Ebia said 1D1F conflict juice project aye. No, all outgrower schemes we pray. Oh, we are here. Uko that's all Ghana. That one what's up? Outgrower schemes we provided a lot. Provided a lot. Emma a conflict juice. Conflict juice. Yeah, raw materials. Yeah, now, so the computer is halfway. Almost Yomoka, almost 1 month, Marcos, and Yomoka. And to begin, say, and no idea was a chef. It's also, you know, 1D1F buy a woman, you know, if we have foreign exchange through export. Let's also use a complete juice as an example. Let's complete juice. What juice, you know, and don't Ghana Hanqua, it told you a man. A person, the percent. Onum ekuchusa Who would the piano?
Honorable Messer, Wahuma, na say a Chessy Kakra down, Hokakra Mayen.
I don't think I said
Mpacho, to us my.
Hey, it's a good use, no. Almost every big quaman and nicotone. Oko Norobis, say a rubber company. Almost the rubber, no, a common on the cotton, almost the cotton, only a phone message, Bagana, and the Bagana the wine. So these are some of the benefits of my Ghana, if you want the one phone. And
as a ministry, honorable, you bet you me, sorry, ministry, no contabu say, Bia. 1D 1F near or Mamphobia ye to me at the Quaman on it, and then Ghana, ye near ma a wood jasono. More to me abuana say ye can may you seek a yenya percentage under 1D 1F ye dear becca hun in ye more uncle tabu ministry.
Your uncle the bone power ministry, a hunty and patch of my your uncle the bone ministry, and no question say. And come on, we this is here. Young Comona, ABI share say, very change. I ask no put that make a fire. And yes, I either will my case I got the data in our buy my mama data in our make conjecture. I don't want to guess the main camp, the anime mouth inaccurate as a mouth inaccurate as MY yet a T4. By which young mouse data we all trust on the path. Now they are more T4. Say. About the dream, Papa, I'm telling you for a fact. That's how come I make a child say, one day one of you have been Fakunqua. One guy who works their own with the mechanic, about paying one, what they make an as once a year.
I say, Yammer ready for you so. A woman, we say, Yanni Ministry of Trade and penning for a coyensiamu, or more a cranny and maba, and near a dready for a warm mayimu, and not ye seek a shit. And our shops are horror, yeah, to 3 year shops move because taxes are horror, yeah, dear Guya near my crabasso. Now, no crowd and ye beto muni say foreign companies be are folded up and send be more ministry some information no mwanya and they dear na mowa mube to me a ya boa said ready for no.
Yeah, I did a qua a high I hear pa here moment behind so mine be attractive. Foreign direct investment and I say on big yanko for Mudio Musica be show memu big multinational companies Mudio Musica be show memu no my juma. South for no buying a was said also or bomb who buy moment to me juma ye no omonica on my name said they omit me create a lot of employment and no more to me so chat baby ama buying ama buying yeska. It is half for no see a bomb who buy. And one boy the bomb and say so the bear omuntiminha issues bia wo mudum na ban momo easy way to do business. I mean, and I said the ease of doing business no index that be good. So the bear omu yejuma and quite so expensive for them. Omu yejuma say ejuma no mo ye no. They spend so much. Now the yejuma ema no omu nyeska be brain fi ejuma no a I discourage you on my customer person club. And until I hear say or say boss halfway, buy. But I know who a buy one year buana, yet train and see as a company the baby 1 or 2, 3 companies be or more exotic and a market. Almost say on your issues. Yet global Nivea yet companies the bray back and love yet companies the bray. I'm about 4, 5. And you're bad. Na high since our companies you one almost here to remember buying almost also a sank of bedroom into so much so qua and the hard delivery. But yet you know not our companies no almost 7 notice to government say omoko a buying yes say it is a foundation but it will why any we share annihilate if you don't want Omun cash on because but don't advertise your intentions so on because South companies in our buying engage you near share the problems on the war. Now, Yashabiti bomb, I'm almost song. I resolve issues now. No matter at Ghana, Yejuma, a create opportunities I'm Ghana for. I'm on hot home.
Honorable, answer na beto aso no mo e call ye no. The first time I moti bibi say omoko no eye se mo de mote ya no mo command ti bibia o man ka bia
say several notice ebi almost several notice saying so moko ye ne omo kan ba ebi ho ma no mo ka bia terms any arrangements on person with the mound any favorable to government who say on mine no you will see a bomb mine home but near bomb mine home buying so the bay between this council on mine and there was yes a create opportunity for competition said the bay Ghana for so a bit minister for not competing business no so on what to be a free example global for global and Ghana for be any competition na so stiff until the mom call no complaining about the economy, how the economy is too expensive in doing business. One of the reasons but when say sometimes no some you can any opportunity for also Ghanaians or more industry to also develop business in that area. So the chase space now, South for the creating. If I say global for what the you riders and let's have business now. Very, very, very good business in Ghana. It go be woman say if you interview I'm a man transit. No so omokwa near kanomokwa. And what could hear say and hear say Ghana for a Bible bois more industry no business apija said the beya umbetimia a space na abaya vacant na groove a create system so the beya almost be adwuma omotinye script ama omhuna ebia boa Ghana into
but what say honorable okay the cost of doing business sankrofo be ka say expensive ntie bia ye kono Ghana for sure o can say omun take that opportunity no omusu say the cost of business no was so am be kura so for di aposa
men kan ye that say yes ebia ye be ka say ye system no I mean the index idea the ease of doing business no Ghana is not too good for me sure say me desa na me pen say yenkosa abai ye do betini bia the 40 diga moka betom betting at least etioma the foka yajumaka na motor so buying na so when you be mom idea here buying pa idea buying any sort of idea that buying so yes sama but you know the world that here comes here no sometimes no a buying a fault nya by fault say aban so be da say obese oma eku ewia say na Ghana ha egu no omho chonwodwom aban in his intentions for me I would never say it anywhere that government's intention is to create like unfavorable environment for people to do business no moka no mengu that is not the intention of government at all yeah you who say bit ye amman crofot ye juma ombetom ometie tua nkofo a omo ye juma omo ye juma kayi no mo so wonye bi e de tua ban for no mo de bi so abodjuma no bra no mo de bi esi amo shareholders enti ehia yen nanso ewiase ewusisi a no sa na akusi aban ye de obitri bia me giri say enche bia ni ma be ye pa
honorable aban dia a wo ye di obetumi bia no mesro osisi bi so me yenwe ne aban ye because they say good for nkrata omodi abeto abonti me gidi say wahu o na taxes egu ye niema so ye ho kire ye aban hwe no wonye bibi emfa ho eti so okasa aban ye ne obetumi bia eno ne de he because animanimu ya no mo bobna eti ministry no mudi decision
me about good for any ejadifo eku aka the cards when you mark on more. I do back where you are nine so high sabbing and say the you do a fair friend. Sometimes you just say any more walk off for woman on any viasia. Na come why you almost a woman born off. And yes, the beer, not the beer, no. Almost by minute, there was a book or so. That is not the way to go. You book mind to you repeat your mind. That's not the way to go. Enti the bia omomoto ade omodia na say the bia enema eko kaka na omoso nyem omoga say benti but enema boko from so a yenye sa pepe oh so the bia nkofo ho me ha omo betom anya sa yitimi and more minds at their penny. That is the way we are supposed to handle things. And you go and say, your money in China, say, see, and you say, your man is a man of phone, now, and get and conform, but not yet, and can't be a name. Getting very disposable stuff, any vegetables, and Nema science to be brain. Yeah, for them one so, and Nema cough mamma born and cough from
honorable. They say, what patata crema who said near my born cough from Kakranke was say almost swasne Kakrana,
Yenny good for dinko breakfast, so many good and penny for the dinko far. That's what make a crown baby. You know, expense. I make us say, yea, a buying a team of poor, and you are buying the officer, yen, and yes, or better, say, or better go from which your man would. That cannot be the intention of government. It can never be the intention of government at all. A buying penisa, now so, sometimes they are ever, but Nina na make us say, I buying the also generator or Boma South one home. Who say, and yet the beer na buy bit near to please people. Sometimes, you make a car, now I agree, and one say, bit any make a car, running a buffer. Nina the boy mine. Namso say, Minaba, a main boo who is an air. Sometimes the more dig a car, sometimes more make a car. Internet and conforms what you are car.
Na honorable asema okay omu no omu so omu chire omu omu sika kura ehye muso mo sire omu so omu ntete omu niema so
baby me can say omu ntete me can no frame geke me can say omu ntete omu niema so as me can say me can say na me no bon koma afa say o ka say na me say nko ni ka say ebia ne enimo mo edin na me ka say ebia ne nro a nimo mu ye mbre no South only Jina, the Biomujina course, who's on the Comuchi. And what's on Namekam, but it was okay, Fessa, India and Ra, yet ton a day 3 cities near Tiso, about 1 city. Now, what ton idea, no, said about 1 city, we'll say, and now 2 cities, with all the old way of 4 cities, sir. Make us say, yes, sir. Oh, there be another class was by the minute. Oh, the costume corner from the own. That is not the way to go.
Na meja wa mu akwai no say foreign companies dodo say na o ma serve mu notice say omunya omobeko say na o kan say you are in talks with bimu no dodo be say na money omo twetwe nkomo yi
ye nika trade you be pa me put me can and one services here wadaroma ye ni kakra ye ni be say bienu mi ansa bi e bon komo
omusununya kwa no omuso ombeko
but ebin mo hono ma enye bia competition na na enye anything say the stuff becomes so expensive ebin mo hono ma corporate one or corporate decision at the head of the city some exit Africa obi mo hom pese o ma idum kasane ba ko bia corporate decision some person mo free Africa in the Ghana kwe omo Tunisia one of them omo ban to Tunisia and Cameroon. But they Ghana penum fear.
Na once Ghana adwadifo no susun wo omo ba niema ni bi wo ho no mo ane buo cheap China mo ede mo mi senka ye hwes ma ye duru he
ni na kan se mo na me no kasi ni na ya ba se de si be boa sa for na me no kasi ni kusu de so omo sa space everything I catch say aban ni abre wo fun. And we are not giving Nkofo, especially Chinese for any bit more open enter into certain form of business of Ghana or might try some killing Ghanaians or more business from the down. I might pay Emma way, Emma Sadness.
Enti mu yi o ma free one because e bi wom sani e wo kan ba mpene so ye hu action no.
Ni aba action no ho. Emma make a tell no me say aban any apre omo streets ni munim de make omunim on say dwedie ensem na obi nso de abana ha ba adwuma sometimes ni bo ntimi kan or public but ye ho adwuma on chain I been more space enim see ye ho adwuma
That's honorable me for seeing me. That's it.
I mean, so.
Abusuaso afọ abedi akire yi ohwe o mai dwade anim fidi dwuma ensem so onimunyam for Michael Ochibefi na yate nene no osi aban ye de obetwum bia anet read ye ode aba ose akua matie papa yi kasa ya na menyi ni se wo moral right no a odi eyi asem na no saamum Ben Elabi ose akua eniema ye krefrem no ni begu omayimu bebre cheaper importation of goods na ye de ba no enu na ekun local industries ye wo omayimu se ye kra niema bo fom frem no ne ba ne ye wo omayimu no egu Felix Osafo de ayi ode aba Worcester Felix Osafo kantanka o se akua metie mu anwumre na nyame enkam ho Ghana de meda bia me kase ye ni ankase ye ho atamfo bebre ye niema bebre wo ho ayaya ye ede aye ho efise eniema no se ewo se wote so se Ghana ni beka se me to Ghana de dabi enye no ho adwuma ene ye da bia ye pam no ne de eno so ka ho na hayen Lord Nate de ayi ode aba se bi wai hwe we mo wo mo be kire mu abre on be kire mu abre wuni mo ha wo mo sa wo ye artificial stoppage say dollar no se say dia gina si gina ye o niema koyi a wo ye na artificial resource no a na ubenya artificial resource no a na abenya eti wani bre se ye de hyehyɛ ye gu akwan mu dollar no ye ma no minisidi no a ubenya so mfaso so do wa no so beka artificial resource ubenya Elijah Boache wo se akwie ni amukeka nyina alankwadwo chematenko a na betumi aboa wo ma Ghana wo alankwadwo chematenko a MPP die o omo ne NDC nyina edukada ya ana Alessam o se mame mama baso ne adwuma moye Kofi Pon Isaac o se ebiwai memehwe mu fi sa peman kwakubo nsam junction na happy birthday enkoma honorable akansie man chiano emame labidi ma boss Joshua Segbaji o se leaders no very wicked ayakanifo no omo tirimu na eden tinhyehyɛ ye mmoa yen ene omo ena Thanos de ayode aba o se bi wai honorable Kennedy Japan wankasa MPP fo no na kyese omo ye omo ho atamfo eno na ekoso no ayikopaye mensa wo se Ghana ye nkoya nimu o ye nkoya nimu da se ye nyai dirty politics ayeya ye ntumi enkoya nimu bibia ye ton no ene akwie kodwa so na kohwe bibia ye bebo obo ade bi edimu a ye ton no Ghana ha bia no ye bobo no wo dollar mu eso se ye ti o man Ghana mu ye bobo no e wo dollar mu da bia me ka se o man bi ti se South Africa wakọ na wo se wo de wunim se o dollar de akọ enti dollar na me de wo ye mfi wo nye bi ni ha se Ghana wo betimi agina ba bia dollar ni nipa kro beje eno na opare ka ho asemi se bibia omo eton dan yi estate developers dan no ye bobo a ye boni in dollars obia bibia ka wo ton ka bo no in dollars ti dollar ni ye wo sidi su ye te Ghana ye di dollar ye bibia no dollar country ye nie ena Dennis Nemison o se bi wa me boma baso na chese Ghana ankasa ye problems aye wono enyansem ketwa wo ye problems aye wono enye ba ko na enye mienu ye problems doso General Azimo o se bi wa me menchia mo anwumre mejo so na Eugene ansa wo de no makan dada Eugene ofa K Leoplan station na Friday Kasaki siedu o se bi wa eti Ghana pa na etimu Ghana no omanye friends Ghana no eno ene ye da so timu Elijah Boache se akua mede madwenche no efi Saudi Arabia Riyadh na eba muntu adwuma no so na chia honorable alankwadwo chematen emame eja bata Putin o se misumitie mu akoti suhum na o se akua Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia bisa nsem bia NDC ntimi anya no enanya ho ne nam Cynthia me wɔse akuya nyame ehia mo papa mechiawo metie free Switzerland na metie free anwume Cynthia mejo so nhaba Anelka wɔse ebi wai yemblemu ya ankasa ye hu o man no ayetimu no adwadifo ma ne mema en wo mu ku yen ebo no kotade a ye bobo no a ye boni se bum ne ye de amawo ade ba ko kodwa so a obi ya ne bo ye ode ma wo ade obi beto wa ma be 1 cedi no obi so tumi de jo 5 cedis dwa kro no a so o mu nyina so o mu kraye no mo de baaye eti ye ne an ye ku ye ho nhaba Anelka de ye ode aba no ana ankoma K Foster ankoma o number no a ode ato minim ne nti a ode ato ana Steven Ade was say NDC ni MPP de the same omunyina wo musuba pe onso ne de ya wode abetumu eno no ana Moses Entry say ABY Ghana mampani womie GNTC ewo 275 constituencies ni nyina mu omie biebi ewo honomo Mozart o say me de madwenche no free yamatwa West yamatwa na me de adwenche no e free eba na yana give us eba for say wadawroma give us cold capsules so de se koko no ahabua coconut na wo so abode akina eda so di wunya give us cold capsules and yesisi yade wada bia wo yamu atim wo give us cold capsules nunumbi na chese wo yamu na honomo if so yamu tim na di koko be ha no give us cold capsules nunumbi na wo yefun no munya mre na mmoa wo ye will give us P capsules and no ye memedru give us P capsules bema bi onum bia no obeye bema muniama mu apiafo ebua mema bebre se bema woda jonso yia na hawo a give us P capsules nunum bi ebeboa na mema yoso asan atawa chiri ye will give us eba mixture enu ne tu ati dia se malaria wode awunya kona ye test no ne ye ka che se bonya malaria no a give us eba mixture brabenunum bi say ye typhoid untumi nidi give us eba mixture no anunum bi ye will give us GC mixture ne capsules ye no so ebua papa we ema de oba bia che say wo de wakwochi na kwate yade a wo benum give us GC mixture ne capsules no dopa num ye ni 2 in 1 capsules ne mixture no numbo mbenya quick results ebeboa kama give us GC mixture ne capsules na chese give us nuro de minim ne enye kwa ba bi eto ne aduro bi a give us nuro no wo bejo de wo so abi ni shop mu no na se oton mini bi boboden je number yi na frɛ ne emre obi nwu shop mu 0543222470 Papa Franco Adawroma ene mobile phones or de ba ye no akiri ma Ghana for G2 mu no smart TVs ba ye Franco air conditioners e ba ye chest freezers washing machines CCTV cameras ene ye the rechargeable fan no abeka ho fan no a se wo charge wie a 12 good hours ye dum kania no a na su nche na bo se ho abusua Franco rechargeable fan no ye de aba etukwa Franco Trading Enterprise branches ahodo ye wo Ghana ba bia wodo bisa se me pe fine no a ye charge ne te se ne ye charge mobile phone na ye dum light a emframa bo me ho no me pe bia to ne bo nye den 300 cedis kura enuru na wo charge wi a 12 hours na che se wo dem abusua umpe we na apede Franco branches ba bia ko honom ye beboa wa mo wanya bi na nyame ya dom a Asempa FM ene fan day no ebeba so Asempa FM Champions League Fan Day ebeba so 2024 day ya de hihye so 1st June T Havana Restaurant ene Chesetema Community 9 ene owo T Havana Restaurant and Gardens Tema Community 9 udu hono mo a ene UEFA Champions League no finals no ya de hihye so ebo ho ya de commentary no ne de be free ho aba etu de ko wo Tema Community 9 wuni hokora etoda na wakoji wani kakra wo kwa ne wo hwe na wo sepo nkakra na bibia koye ede amaw nyame ya adoma na mde ato wanim no mese 1st June na ye de ehihye so na ye ka club bia ye ka bia eno ane club bia de ebi nka ho ye ka bia eno ane club so de tuakese no kane no manfo agine si wanim saa so ofere enemi no aba eti bi ye de eno ane club na se waje achele kama waje bi asi wanim abusua wuni 18 years en onka ho oba pemfo wo so wonnum bi woni aka bia jejagum we nyansafo ya wonom a ebetwa photo se ya wo ba na chese ya hu Adom home makeover no so chese so wunim se ne esisi fie obi won mo apie ne fie anu hu se we ani bie nhye da nim sa color combination obeya amawo ene wura ho no mo a tale ye cheche ade ene Adom dwaso ena work and happiness OPD ene chief Jerry Force yet na adwamu a ye be che se fa we to ha fa we nsi ha fa we enkoto ha ne se ya cheche wa na ne wo mu onie Nasco adawroma sa wato Nasco product bia wo fie say ye fridge say ye TV ye si gina ho na twa selfie kre gina ho na twa selfie na fa bra wo de ba normal no je WhatsApp line na fafa so 054 5511 akrade ne yeto no ewuti ye a Nasco de onim se ne ma wo ho wo da se blender wo se den yo wo ato free Nasco hono mo unto obi so akoto baako we ye frɛ no fa keto abeje kese ne wo to no akyɛde no edu hono mo a ye ma wo ne so papa ye ma ne so ma mimie nhoma no ntum na ye tiefo efi sabri ko se wutie ya bani ni hwudwumadie so eni 0302216561 and 0302216562 hello ma memfa frefo a odi kan hello kule wantima nyina so so mu emame hello mini abema boko de
yo Adom no mo fa bo ne ejuma pa wo mama Ghana nti bibi aboko
ye de nyame ase anwumre yi baby a ye sidi no aduro ye pekwan ye betumi afa so na ya gi sidi no asi hono mo ene Ghana ni bi amfa na adwenkyire bi mra wo dam ye nko
yo ye bi ka me bebe akafia fo bi am kasa fi kantamanto mini aba mami chia Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Robert Lamte Incoming Medina and Fatima Abubakar Minister of Information many about some of the other the air center $5 sim yeah 24 year old both NDC MPP party be behind so that it is a circle to do please massive people Zamraba free $600 police for embrawo or main ye nyoboshe Mexican every abutine they do bank managers kunya na the man go free ukona ko $1 na we nya bi o se ono tire Zamraba ni akono $1 eti mini aba sadi we say you need to make to one more pa actually you know the nesi from na buy non impempuni na omo mo se sikano any manager the bank managers no any amount for being so omo yo mo se omo the dollars business no bo ye no but ti se ko fu we na one to two nam ka $6 ba na ya mini aba ye be first police bia enya dwumanta mini aba oni yam ye dwuma
osuni nyame entna minu abema yedase wodi a wodi aba hello pacho ma wafidie no nkofo maye
yo
na fa wadwen kyerɛ to aso sidi no kwan ya yemfa so eno
oba Grace na ka se mi ka se fi kofodia
yo anti Grace sane utimi bonkunta ayiwa mu enu aduane ye won hyehye no yese sidi no kwan ba ne yemfa so nyini si ho
yo anti akia nia edi kan se papa onya wo de ne kasa ya otosu ni no ane ne kasa ya na asema o kan ye no enu anu ye ti o meyi mu na yankasa ye sidia ye dia ye dwino ya pusidi ni ye mpe eni bibiala wo Ghana ha akoye $. Ena ban kura bosika bidin a oba bonu o si di mu po na ye nti dollars ko po ye ni mu se ne atie kwa no ni e kan dollars ma tell bi kwa mo man news ni mo na mutu mi calculate ni ma chere se bi sika CDC e ho asem na ye ka ada ne atie o man mu ni ya nkasa ya de ye mpani aponi akofo obi die ye mpani fuoi e no be ko mu fi obi a asisa ni sika dollars na hye ne o ma se san dollars o mu se da e ni asisa ni go be ni ho be to ye wo man mu eti sa suban we si yanya ya eni ebegira ni yegina it's a Ghana for yem pay ade obi die na de bia ye pe bia na wo kan South Africa obeti na go just the dollar kwakota ade ho ade na ye wo ye si ni ma ye ni so ya de na de bia ogo ni de ni di akire sa sister eti sa ya sa de suban dia na se de bia ye bia la ye tio memu a obi tia the best school fees dollars obi ko dia shop kota ade dollars kita dollars ni ya ntoma ebe na ye ho bese o memu na mpanyifo su go memu e so mo hwe no mo ye ntutu na se nyima we nyina tutwa o mo so mo ye so mo anka se mo nkwampo no ma se so mo tikya nya dollars na egu o mo dem eno o mo di eti sa na ye be kon se ye se yesu ban dia ye ho beto ye manuasi
ye da se papa anti Grace ye da se wo wadwenkyira odi free Koftan wamba Anet die no asa abo ntofa die aba no se akua chese deputy minister ne kasa yi tumi ben wo so asemu wo so wo kasa fa ho sa dollar nsemi wo mote Ghana ha sei wo mo Ministry of Trade no wo mahwe ene ye bibia ye dwa ye die no ye di no dollar mu wo mote ha wo mani ehu eti wo mo pese wo mo chese sa ne mani nyina wo mu hu ye free minister Keti Hamod su besi ne deputy a woni ne ka se omunim se ye didwa enema amanfo ton omunema ye bobo no dollar mo monte ye hello
Edward
eja udi ni baby afrefre
good evening you didn't yima me ka se fra momole trobu constituency
yo eja yima mi enti o
me da se everywhere dollar ti mo kan ekosu enye bibia enye obi na anase Ghana for na di etika tu abandonment is a bonny a car ye be domestic exchange you can say debt to whatever no more yentua ye company a cannot debt to cry yentua ye a abandonment is a bonny one mismanage of money no and ama $dollar semi na the cost and the good of one contact no dem a omusu good of one nan kenim say omo ye be a federal majority customer MPP kan normal no dem if $dollar no omo Uraba Umia only the MPP omo and the economic management leader and then we journey through digitization if you get that yen akwampo na dollar economy so na yes service yes na debt there and you mean you be you make can say adi omo be ya that's why the electoral commission didn't timetable ban ka me there o mantanya kufa for early election na yen to ban yen yi omo firi ho na nyesa Camera ya copy December they are here yes your mind ahoche no boss dodo mama mo fu na ma ahoche we nyina ba edu an da se
ye da se numsuo twenpe sa bredi o man ne mrakuni ni ni bibia se ye kole bibia early election wo ba bia enti na wo koto a ye se ye kire wo se kokromoti power wo koto unya de kokromoti ni kotim nipa abeyi na ye mfie nan yemfie nan ene wode tena so nti sa bredi ese akaboso mesei yem call for early elections bia wo de yentwen hello eja udi ni ba bia frefre o
me din de ofake me ka se fin prime station circle
yo ofake mi enti o
ya ba ma memo abaso
mo
my wakasa ko yen kasa sa amamu fon no hwanhwana indidi o enye yen kasa sa amicha ya kashi mata ama saman oba na Robert Lampi ubaka onzo mechi an Fatima tu
ama saman constituency wa hu
me wo hosa wo do me kwa benyanyina
wo ka delegates hu
me 3 places wonka
wo ka delegates hu
ama sama de menka
ayo to aso
ba me to aba ni binti
wo ka hu anka mbisa wo se monsa kama saase no
za no mo e so mo saka ndo mo saka mo de
to aso
mati minga ba Ghana yenyina ya yi mistake yenyina Ghana mrano we miss me and $5 and tabby, and $5 and rent it. You have foreign money behind you see any idea. As an overco is legal, yet on $1. Udo be kustua $1. Okotoka, Medokra, February $1. Or more ministers and deputy ministers have from Obekasina, Obekon walleting $1. Cities is in Ghana. It is a year to buy, answer say you should buy, yes, Papa, hey. We cried about young Twaba, hey, you bet Twaba, say, young Cassia woman, and last me call Bangi, Banging doesn't body. Me way side the one may make you not go on you be a way side, but you're Ryan. You crown up your gun and meet him now. Oh, come many Jano direct. Or could J, not your back, what a better or some. Oh, and you have to say, Subaya, we are here, Kenyan and Penny for my will. But many just mean I away, almost a study man go for a year. And the dollar, the woman anymore, not meaning as I call. If Nigeria, almost the cock, it's be $1 on why drama. And the other say, Subaya, I mean, by a back can't come at the action in Kusiaga. But I say,
yes, so, yeah, that's it. Yes, yeah, that's it. Of okay. Yeah, that's it. Hello.
Everywhere.
Aja.
I'm ready. About the answer come.
And Councilmania.
And I was a of a came a tail catcher. Of a only had the microphone and I can say. We am pinning my coach in Beshi. And I'm in my hand that's Rebel Kubato Tosomensa. And I'm a boot the animal boom. Let me say, everywhere. Or mine, if you're a car and penny for money for. Then we tell you out Chemasi and penny for money wine. You have to find penny for no. Oh, Ticana, if you are major, say, one Casacran or $1 a war. When you are so a kind of cry or $1. But a bar, Bearman, about 24 Bearman, if you are a
what ocean bottom?
Oh, there is a union more butchy. Romano Cacra.
Unime.
If you are make it if you are America, I don't mind $1,000, you cost so cement than I Sicano. As you made this year, everywhere we move it. And also $1,000 over 120 million, 140 million. And the body I would no more to Hana and the boy. You may complain it's a house, you have to $1. And the government is Jacophobia, Samama. $1. About $1 no. The back of Ghana for now is Kanama, a Yamaka for an homogeneous share. The real government, the Bumo Kufuado, and the Baumia. No, we force a declaration, Bamia in Hosino. Anna, what is the dictate? Now, economy again. Oh, say, I just fear, I don't fear. I said, we didn't even 40. Everyone is fear. Never fuck out my to before. So I let me say, Wuska, and the economy in Aviano. And to me, I don't mean that you're deep in the 4 7 a mambo phone that Mamma Mambo Quagana for Town, Fioti. I would say, dear Kumu, or so of John Fuka Town. Every Mamma works my hair town. And I want to bring the course for Mamma Resso, and my God, I have found Chambers in there. But this is everyone next week for 25th. And for former President Wallace, it told him about 45 years anyway. A man who 3 hours here and there. And the Pania Ghana will not come on a bush for NDC for 24 and only on my way. As well as I can see all Ghana in an air factory, Wakaya, or a factory, and they're Thomas sorry for. I'm sorry, I'm not complaining. Everywhere, we have the microphone. Now, what's your
on show so Ajmai. That's it. Hello.
Hello. Baby, why?
Aja.
Aja
mu. To asomai. Me ho ye pa to asomai.
Obojuma, Yamishra. And here, nature only about Fatimatu, Abubakar, Information Minister, Minchano. And I said, Japan, Yamon and Sabola, no. And so you to Bola, no pa, but you're very Bola. And so, Zula of home, I won't work a cracker. You, dollar, a bit of any business, you. Bit of business, as is a moon party. And it's $1 not bad for more pet, almost here. A consul pet, normally a business. Now, here, Omaka Granka Crana, one more Moses is how much it woman would you see it. You know, much outside TV. Now, me who cry, yes, he said you can't also say Ghana had that. Me didn't say, Uchina. I don't know. Say, honest, can't Sakura, follow the road. No one was sister. And yes, you are born 10 years, yes, a son. Yes, a Ghana and Kwana business.
Enti no Niger for Mfo Burkina Faso for omnyina begua ana omye say business no ana dollar many yen Ninti asie kura se sa de we kura ko so za penifo ntimi ntu wo so sampam wo a dollar yi higher see ama yiti aye bibi e wo sa no we dey make two chama late for ma atamis or ya be so one fan na for one kan na Ghana ko ha da ka dollars na de be han en ga do be ko squad do ko tia dollar eno hey daddy we sini kurimu eno ye ano pon firim ena yenso yen konta bi ebubu bi a dollar yen konta bi ebubu bi a dollar ye si di ni de yempe enti e twetika ko o ma wo mo tumi ka de se ka we ye ni yempe ampani amba ni agia to ye ni what you say o ka je be de na ye si di no be ye yi di a ye se di abubo so nyina obi aba wo be kan adi se yi pre system mu ansana ye dollar ye si di no ne ho beto no bye
bye Jenny mo yeda se mama fa frefo di ho hello
everyone
eja
now what to say ni
Adom disciple ni
wa unya be ma banya mi kasa free ashama zeni
me kasa medu lora ashama zeni aban so mame
everyone wa daru ma ene ma min kama se ma ene me nyini free ahoma so everyone wa daru ma 2016 ana 2013 ana vice president Mahmoud Bawumia eko jina ye elected say when the fundamentals are weak the exchange rate to expose you no sambre no na gaw for na exercise can no mo free o mine everywhere MPP ni udi ni koto ade wo store na mu pie na mu nyina mu ba obaba be ka che wiase nyina se onu ni de ne ye papa che ho de omudi a kontompo akosistema buman ni free opposition buman ene enugwase e kamu nyina so mu checha udwini wa unti ase everywhere won enugwase e to your vice president ene eye yisigi fo ababe expose ni say sa digital na o ka say ye to light ni ade wo phone su ya started that president Mahama time ana ye started ye di mobile phone to light that entenyo na odi baye everywhere na say training nesi training for here akola kitwa na expose no say 20 alawa na muso di abu amudi aba ndc ba ye betwemu no onu ba ye 3 years ni oba be wie school alawa ba kokro onyaye ekeni gwase ni de mu be koso agisa because amemu na mudi bre ye no enya amemu papa mu ba ye nyema mu policies ta mudi ba ye nyina abe goga na fonduma ena unyenye ya komu anda kupado efese sabetina ko di Mahmoud Bawumia etabese ye ko ndi ensi nani etina nti ye ka cheleta commission so ma pelepeli ye nyeduma na me boye general chairman abaso onabu etiedu nketi ani yankata ye regional chairman Greater Accra onabu ashimo me bo ma abaso papa
yedase aban ena yede no ebetwa to na yada etiefo ase na happy birthday enko emfamao abna Eunice abna Eunice ewo ebo ho o ye suani adesuani student awo dispensary optics efijase oyoko ena owo Eunice ene eye wawoda efi DJ promise onomo abna Eunice bo ho DJ promise me kancho say nyame omma wo so na chese obotaye bia so esiwani so asasi so no nyame emano emrem happy birthday enko emfamao abusia medimu si ha ni ada give seba fo ase Franco Trading Enterprise so yeda wase sada so ena club beer ene ebie no ne ye papa ena make for ede amawo no nyame ya domo a ye besa hia akuma ama mazimbi ne bre aso eti make say ene waye krado DJ promise be shom na wode akuma atum na adawroma Edward Tete so echi adwamu a na se Facebook YouTube live anwumre